What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today when I talk to you about the top 5 highest ranked EV stocks based on its quantitative data in the market. So I want to go over all the things that you need to know, but first make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So starting off with stock number 5, you do have Lucid, ticker LCID, sitting at 307. Over the last 1 year, it is finally green, up 10.43%, and over the last 1 month, it is up 9.45%. And we are here because of this right here. So you can kind of see some of the grading factors. So it has the valuation, growth, profitability, momentum, and revision. So overall, a pretty good judge of how a stock is performing. You can kind of see as well the last 3 months, last 6 months. So any improvement or kind of reduction. But we are here because of this, which again kind of grades this, but ranked overall. So Lucid is ranked 2,823 out of 4,300 stocks. So not the best, but then again, most EVs essentially aren't doing all that great. But based on what Lucid actually does do, their evaluation is a B-. Growth is a C+, profitability is a F, and based on what the company has disclosed so far, they haven't really talked on profitability. They said that the mid-size, which is going to be coming out late 2026, is going to be their path to profitability. But obviously that's why you get a F. Momentum is a C+, a little bit of an increase from the C, which was 3 months ago. And then revisions is a C, a little bit more of a reduction. Oddly, even though Lucid's been making some improvement, analysts, for whatever reason, have started to really hate on it. So again, I'm going based on a lot of this information right here. There is a lot of other detailed information up top here that I'm not necessarily going to go over. And normally I do these types of videos like heavily shorted stocks and whatever else. That is going to be a different video, so kind of stay tuned for that. Moving on to stock number 4, definitely a very interesting one. VinFast, sitting at $4.12, ticker VFS. Over the last 1 year, down 28.6%. So rather stagnant over the last little bit. And at the same time, you have seen rather low volume, but looking at some of the grades, not all that bad. So based on what they do offer, the valuation is a B, growth is a B+, profitability, same as Lucid, is a F. And as far as I'm aware, based on this company, they did state that is going to be probably late 2026. That's where profitability will be occurring. Momentum is a B-, and revisions is a B. So that is night and day difference from the last 3 months. And plus up here, I'm not necessarily going to go over, but Wall Street has started to give a lot of very bullish ratings on this. And so this is why you do see that very dramatic bump up from the revisions. And ranked, it is 2,536 out of that 4,300. So a little bit of an improvement, so kind of crazy all in all. I did cover VinFast kind of here and there when it was really starting to move up, gain some popularity, but unfortunately not all that much that drew me to it to continue. But moving on to stock number 3, you have RIVN, sitting at 14.21. Over the last 1 year, down 15.21, and over the last 1 month, down 6.45. Looking at their grades, valuation is a B-. And in my opinion, I think that's a fair judge based on that. What they do perform, I think, is a pretty good discount. Once again, even looking at this, it does factor in a lot of the multiples behind the scenes. So yeah, I do agree that RIVN is a pretty good deal in comparison to its peers. Growth is a B-, profitability is a F. That could be changing, of course, in the next little bit. Momentum is a B+, and I do agree the fact that RIVN, when it goes up, it is a force to be reckoned with. If only they had another section right here as far as holding those gains. That's another subject, because every time it does generally skyrocket for whatever news, it usually is short-lived. But beside the point, revisions over the last 90 days is a C, and you can kind of see that based on the earnings. So over the last 90 days, you've had 5 negative revisions from analysts, and they do have their earnings on a side note on the 20th, so February 20th. So moving on to stock number 2, this one kind of threw me off. I didn't anticipate this one to be on this list, but HYLN, ticker HYLN, sitting at $2.37, up 1.72% on Friday. Over the last 1 year, though, up 160.75%. And over the last 1 month, though, it is kind of pulling back from its recent highs, down 16.11. Looking at some of the grades, though, this is where you have the evaluation as a B+, growth as a A+. So you have to factor in it's a 3-month kind of assessment. So based on the last 3 months, it did have a very nice spike. So I think that's where it's getting maybe the growth from. As well, that might be affecting momentum. So momentum is a A, profitability is a D-, and then revisions is a A+. So yeah, interesting stuff when it comes down to that. It looks like over the last 3 months, revisions have been looking fairly good. The only thing that really changed was profitability. I don't know why it shows as a A+ 3 months ago, so that most likely is incorrect, but this one definitely did throw me off. Like, I get it, HYLN does have a lot of good potential upside, but I think it definitely has its skeletons in the closet. It does need to rectify, but nonetheless, we're here because of this. So it is ranked 867 out of the 4,300 stocks. And you can kind of see just rank within its own sector, within its own industry, and stuff like that. Moving on to good old Tesla, stock number 1. I think everyone logically knew that was coming, but sitting at $426.50 over the last 1 year, it is up 97.87, and over the last 1 month, it is down 11%, kind of pulling back from its recent highs. It does also have a earnings coming up in roughly a week and a half on January the 29th after hours, so that one should be a interesting one, but they do have, as far as the valuation, a F. So that one definitely is causing it to kind of have a little bit lower of a ranked based on that. Growth is a D+, profitability A+. I think that's very common sense for that. Momentum is a A+, revisions is a A-. Quickly going over here, and I think that the 2 ratings right here, negative ratings or revisions, that's what's kind of affecting that, giving it the A-. But over the last 90 days, 22 positive and 2 negative revisions to the earnings per share. So all in all, I really like Tesla, and I think that this is a good judge of fair value out there based on this right here. So the ranked overall 705 out of 4,300. So let me know your thoughts on these top 5 stocks. Is there any other stocks that you feel potentially could be replaced with them? Again, not being biased or anything, but I feel like HYLN definitely might not be deserving of number 2 potentially, and as well VinFast. I've never really been an overly big fan of VinFast, so those ones I'd probably swap out, but still, going based on the quantitative data, it shows them as a fairly good deal. So let me know your viewpoint on this. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And with all that, appreciate all of you watching.